What is going on, y'all? Gamers Goon here today. Third video of the day here on Monday. If you haven't already, you can see it kind of over here. My video is uploading, my second one of the day, so it's coming out around 3 or 4 o'clock. So be on the lookout for that if you haven't already seen it. This one will be out later this afternoon. I do have to go to dinner, and then after dinner, I will be uploading this one. But this is going to be our mascot video. Now, not all teams, and also I wanna apologize. ALST is Alabama State, not Alcorn State. But not all teams have mascots. For example, Illinois, so their opponent will automatically advance. Alabama State, and we're just gonna I'm gonna tell you they're the Hornets, and then we have Saint Francis, PA mascot. They are the Red Flash, Frankie the Friar. Okay, so it's a dude basically. Here's a quick spoiler. I'm not gonna pick many like a Boilermaker. I'm not picking mascots that are people, that just are dressed up. Like the Auburn Tigers, I'm taking over these over both the Hornets and that. This is one I don't have to look up. Nice and easy. We get Louisville Cardinals and the Creighton Blue Jays. And the only reason I'm going to go with the Cardinals, even though they're both birds, is I'm a Cardinals fan from the MLB. I like Vlad Guerrero on the Blue Jays, but I like the Cardinals. I grew up a Cardinals fan. Michigan Wolverines versus the UC San Diego Tritons. A Wolverine is always going to win over a Triton. A Triton's just an object, basically. So there we have that. We got the Yale Bulldogs and the Texas A&M Aggies. I don't really know what Texas A&M mascot is, or what it would look like. It might be a dog. I know the Volunteers is a dog. Their mascot is a dog. But they're the Aggies. Texas A&M Aggies. The Yale Bulldogs. They make it simple for us. Their name is their mascot's their name. The Ole Miss Rebels. Now that one, I don't know what their mascot is. It's a shark or a bear, or I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's a shark. San Diego State, you got the Aztecs. North Carolina is the Tar Heels. I'm going with the Tar Heels over the Ole Miss Rebels, who are, I guess the Sharks is their mascot. Iowa State Cyclones. Lipscomb, you have a chance here to win. Lipscomb, I haven't picked them yet really to win. Lipscomb, it's like a bowl. I think it's a bull. Or a bison, okay? And Iowa State, just make sure. Yeah, they're the Cyclones, but it's a Cardinal. Yeah, we're going to go with Lipscomb. There. And before we, if and but around it, the Tar Heels advance. Marquette Golden Eagles versus the New Mexico Lobos. Marquette mascot. Okay, it's just a simple looking eagle, and then you get the Lobos, New Mexico Lobos, and theirs is like a dog or a wolf. I think I'm gonna go with the wolf type Lobo thing. The Spartans, and then Bryant. What is Bryant's mascot? Bryant could easily win this. Spartans, I'm not a big fan of people dressed up as things. I want an animal. I want an object. I want something. Yeah, the Bryant Bulldogs, that's enough to beat the Spartans. As long as it wasn't like a Boilermaker, which then it would be like a coin flip, truly. Oh, don't leave. Do not leave. Florida Gators. And then we got Norfolk State mascot. It's kind of like it's a Spartan. Yeah. The Huskies or the Sooners. It's gotta be the Huskies. Oklahoma mascot. I couldn't even tell you it's a horse. Yeah, the Huskies win. The Memphis Grizzlies versus the Colorado State Rams. It's got to be the Grizzlies. I know I'm not high on Memphis this year. That's enough. Maryland Terrapins is a turtle. And you got GCU, who I believe is an anteater. Or no, it's an antelope. It's a tough one. I don't give Grand Canyon much love. We'll just give them the benefit of the doubt here. It's one that I really don't know. I do have a turtle though. Maybe I should pick turtle. I do have a pet turtle. I'll take pet turtle, but the Tigers are going to advance. The Missouri Tigers versus the Drake Bulldogs. These dogs, unless they're playing like a Boilermaker or a Spartan or something, I'm not going to pick them. Not a big fan of the dog as your mascot. The Tigers are a little overdone also, but there's a lot of Bulldogs, a lot of Tigers, but I think Missouri just slightly gets the edge there. Then we get to the Texas Tech Red Raiders. This is one that I don't know what their mascot looks like. Ooh. Their mascot's a guy, which means I think UNC Wilmington, I think they might, yep, they're the Seahawks, or they're the Seahawks. That's going to get the slight edge. Missouri is going to beat them, though. And I know I'm filling out some of these. It's just because I'm going to forget what like UNC's mascot looks like. Kansas, the Jayhawks versus the Razorbacks. Razorbacks easily get that. The Birds, when they play each other, sure, it's fun to talk about. The Birds against these other animals, not a big fan of them. The Razorbacks, one of the better ones here. Now this one right here is another one that St. John's is it's like a red thunderbird, that's what they call them, and Omaha is a red bull, or maverick. It's a maverick, I guess. I think we're going to go with the maverick. Houston, they are the Cougars, and then you got SIUE, who is also the Cougars. Houston, whose mascot looks better? I don't have a strong preference. I really don't. We're going to give it to Houston. Gonzaga, they are the Bulldogs, Georgia Bulldogs. Don't really have much to say in between those. We'll just take the higher seed like we did with Houston. The Clemson Tigers versus McNeese. McNeese are the... What is this? It's like a cowboy. The Tigers win. McNeese. First off, hold up. I know I've mentioned him a little bit. Let me give him a shout out. Shout out to Amir Khan. Amir Khan is the McNeese guy. Got some NIL deals here today. Buffalo Wild Wings. I think he got a tick pick. Yeah, he got tick pick. So shout out to him. He is the McNeese manager that everybody has been blowing up on social media. He's the guy that's getting pretty famous pretty quickly heading into March Madness. He comes down with the music, and the team's all hyped up behind him. Very viral. Team manager there for him, but I'm having Clemson win. It's the mascot. It's the mascot bracket. It's not McNeese's time. Boilermakers, we know what they look like. High Point, please. Anything. Okay, the High Point mascot is terrible. It is a panther, a purple panther, which I don't really like, but it's not a person like a Boilermaker. They are like the epitome of mascots that I just don't like. Illinois, doesn't matter. Texas is a Longhorn, would advance. Kentucky Wildcats, Troy. Troy mascot is a Trojan, which means they lose. I don't want anything to do with those. Utah State mascot is what is that? It's like a bull or a bison. Something of the sort. And then you got the Tennessee Volunteers. which is the dog. Or whoa. I was doing Utah State versus Tennessee. That wasn't right. UCLA is a Bruin, which is a bear. So yeah, UCLA wins. Tennessee, and then Wofford is also a dog. Theirs is a terrier. Then you got Smokey. We'll give it to the top seed. We'll start off from the bottom. The Bruins are going to beat Smokey and the Tennessee Volunteers. The Longhorns are going to beat the Kentucky Wildcats. The Clemson Tigers are going to take out the Panther of High Point. And then a Cougar is going to beat Gonzaga. Next, we're going to have Arkansas beat Omaha. Obviously, Arkansas, I do like the Razorbacks as a mascot. Missouri, we already had advance. Memphis, we already had advance. Florida versus UConn, I got to go with the Gators. I got to give the Gators here over the Memphis Grizzlies. Or Memphis Tigers, wow. It took me that long. Okay, so throwback to a couple videos ago, I accidentally called one of... Who was it? It was... I'm trying to think of who it was. Which team he played on. I don't know. I called somebody his brother's name, and somebody commented it. So if you made it this far in the video, yeah, I'm switching it. Not the Memphis Grizzlies, the Memphis Tigers. The Tigers. I'm still having them win the games they won. But Florida, I had to have winning the Missouri Tigers versus Arkansas Razorbacks. We like the Razorbacks there. Bruins versus Longhorns. We like the Longhorns. Clemson Tigers versus the Cougars. I like the Tigers. I think I like the Tigers over the Longhorns. And I think I like the Gators over Arkansas and the Razorbacks. So then we get back to the top, and we get to sort this out. The Auburn Tigers versus the Cardinals. We're taking the Tigers. The Wolverines versus the Bulldogs. We're going with the Wolverines. The Tar Heels versus Lipscomb. We already took the Tar Heels. The Lobos versus Bryant. The Lobos get by just because we don't really like... It's not that we don't like dogs and animals. It's just... Or not dogs and animals. As mascots, it's just they're overdone. A lot of bulldogs. We don't need more bulldogs in March Madness. We don't. UNC will have win there. I don't think the Lobos are particularly a great mascot. They just had an easy run. And then we're going to have the Wolverines win here. We're going to have the Wolverines win there. Auburn Tigers, not a great mascot either. We didn't do the top right. Wow. We didn't do the top right. So it's the Duke Blue Devils. I couldn't tell you what American is or Mount St. Mary's. But we gotta get back on the looking up these ones. So we know what Duke looks like, which is like the little blue devil. Mississippi State. And then Baylor Bears, obviously. Mississippi State's a Bulldog. We're going Baylor. We're going Baylor Bears. Oregon Ducks versus the Liberty. What are they? The Liberty what? The Ducks are... That's a tough mascot to beat, the Duck. It's a pretty good mascot. It's like a bird. Yeah, we're going Oregon. If we're going to have a bird, it's going to be the Ducks. Arizona Wildcats versus the Akron Zips. You got to go with Arizona. The BYU Cougars versus VCU, what is this? VCU Rams. Yeah, they're like a ram. That's a tough one. I think we got to give the edge to BYU though. Wisconsin Badgers versus the Montana Grizzlies. This is one where I'm going to shock you. Montana is the better mascot. What? A Badger, really? I don't know that. I don't know if that's really a strong mascot. St. Mary's is a person. Vanderbilt. Ooh, what is Vandy's? What is Vandy's? It's a person. Ooh, they're both persons. We got to go with the higher seed. And Alabama's the Tide, but it's like an elephant. And then Robert Morris. Robert Morris is a person, so Alabama gets the bye there. Alabama, by default, beats the person. The Grizzlies or the Cougars. I gotta go with the Grizzlies. There. The Wildcats versus the Ducks. On paper, the Wildcats would win, but I'm a fan of the Oregon Ducks mascot. And obviously Oregon. The Blue Devils versus the Bears. Gotta go with the Bears. The Bears. Shout out to Caleb Williams and company. Here's where Oregon would lose. I don't like them over a Bear. And then Alabama, I think you'd lose to a Grizzly. And then you got a Grizzly Bear versus the Baylor Bears, and I think you give Montana the victory there. Wolverines versus the Tar Heels. I think you got to go with the Tar Heels. And then we go Gators. I think we got to go Grizzlies, and we got to go Gators. That's the mascot bracket. We'll just make up a random score. We'll say it will be a 107-point game. Very low scoring. Florida wins like 84 to like 40, whatever equals up to 107. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Once again, tomorrow will be another day of 2, 3, 4, maybe even brackets coming out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.